What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction for Monday and the price prediction leading up to earnings based off what I'm seeing in these trends. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with the overall market, what's going on in Shanghai for China, and what the Fed is doing that can affect the market going forward. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about what you really need to be paying very close attention to, and where I see Tesla's share price doing based off technical analysis, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you're going to qualify for up to 6 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. Once again, that's free money. And you can always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and buy some Tesla shares for free. This is a limited time offer to get some potential Tesla shares as it ends at the end of April. So please check it out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we did see this thing take a bit of a dip during the last day the market was open, which was Thursday. And since then, things are actually looking a little bit better for the stock, in my opinion. I think we did find our bottom, and we do have earnings coming out on 420. And obviously, that's a joke, as Elon Musk likes to make very funny jokes. But you guys understand my point. I think the market's going to push up a little bit, and I think Tesla's going to push up even higher. Now, when it comes to Tesla pushing up, I am pretty bullish going into the anticipation of their earnings report, but depending on what is announced, that is going to affect where they end up going after that. So I don't truly know what's going to come out. If they announce a stock split, it's going to be incredible. If they don't, then we are probably going to drop, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So given what's going on right now in our economy and what's happening, remember April 20th, 420, that is when they have the big earnings report, and I could easily see them actually pushing up in anticipation because of that. But given what's happening in our economy and given what's happening to Tesla, as of right now, at the time I'm recording this, I don't have an update on the Shanghai shutdown. As of right now, it's looking like Tesla is still shut down, and we haven't necessarily seen them really pick up on their production. So this may have a negative effect on their Q2 earnings report as well, on their deliveries. But we really want to see this really pick up first before we really continue to see more bullish price action. So this is something that should be on the back of your mind because it is important for Tesla's productivity and their share price. It can have somewhat of an effect going forward. I also want to talk about the big data that's coming out. May 3rd through the 4th is the FOMC meeting. For those of you who don't know, the FOMC is basically this big meeting with the Fed, and the Fed announces their changes in their monetary policy. This monetary policy is going to affect the stock market, the US interest rates, all those big things out there that are very, very important for investors. And they could cause the markets to either take a big hit or rally if they announce something huge. So we are in anticipation of this event, which is why the market looks very shaky right now. It's on May 3rd through the 4th. And as a result, we have seen a bit of a pullback that is causing a lot of bearish pressure. I also want to talk about this right here. So right here, Investopedia talks about what's known as the Fed kind of reducing their balance sheet, so to speak, by selling securities. And this involves them essentially selling these bonds. They're selling securities that puts pressure on the bond market. And as a result, this could cause interest rates to also increase rapidly. And the way this works is the Fed, their balance sheet is a little bit too high. They've been buying and buying and buying all these bonds to essentially keep the market afloat. And they're trying to keep the market independent of them. They want the market to really improve that way. They also realize that interest rates have to go up because inflation is just not where it needs to be. The last CPI report showed 8.5%. The PPI report, which is the producer price index, was at 11.2%. Way too high. Way too high. So they really need to take action as soon as they can. And as a result of this, it is causing some bearish price action for the market because we want to know to what degree they're really going to be reducing their balance sheet. As of right now, it's 95 billion. it's at 95 billion per month, I believe. And on top of that, we're also probably going to see a change in their rate hike. So maybe a 50 basis point rate hike still hasn't been priced in yet. So the market still could take a bit of a hit after. So the reason I'm talking about this, okay, I'm not trying to spread FUD. I want to talk about after Tesla's earnings report, what you should be looking out for. So I'm going to draw this out for you. Let's have this polyline. Let's start right over here. Okay, the market was closed on the 15th, so don't worry about that. Let's go to the 18th. The market opens. Where does Tesla go? I believe Tesla's going to push up and fill this gap and maybe even push higher. So, what I would predict is Tesla runs to that $1,027 range. Then it ends up dropping just a little bit. And we may close around that $1,020 range, somewhere around there. Now, for the next day, I think this thing is going to push even harder up, and we might actually fill the gap right over here around that $1,060 range. So we might push even higher. Then we might get a slight drop. And then on the day of earnings, this thing could push as high as 1,070. We have resistance there. Be on the lookout for resistance. I don't know if we're going to break past that. I mean, it's very possible we do. There could be a lot of excitement. We may go as high as 1,091, maybe as high as 1,100, maybe. If we push very, very hard, it's very possible. And then where do we go after that is dependent on what is announced. So I'm very bullish. I don't know if these, price targets are perfect, but I think we're gonna actually push going into that earnings. And if Tesla does not announce a stock split or something huge, this thing is probably gonna drop and continue to drop after that. If they announce a stock split or something big, this thing could keep going as high as 1,150, maybe even to their previous high that we saw over the last few weeks. If not, we're most likely going to take another big drop and end up dropping right back down to that $1,000 range, kind of like this. So I just want to prepare you guys for this. If you don't believe me, I could actually show you with historical data. And let me actually go right back. I did make a video about this like 2 days ago, right here. What happened to Tesla during their last earnings? Obviously, there was a lot of anticipation. People were super excited. We pushed all the way up. I mean, we were up like 20%. We pushed all the way up. Then all of a sudden, because of what's happening with the Fed, the FOMC, all those things were pushing the market down. And Tesla did not have that insane bullish catalyst that really, really pushed it up and continued to cause it to keep running. And Tesla ended up taking a big hit after that. So I just want to prepare you guys by using this historical example. It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee unless they announce that stock split or something big, right? That's the exception. But like I said before, I want to prepare you guys for this because right now the market's kind of choppy because of what the Fed is doing. The Fed has to become hawkish and start selling those securities because as they raise rates, as a result, institutions become more incentivized to kind of get away from the market in a way, sell a lot of their shares and put their money into something a lot more secure and safe, such as those bonds that are giving them secure returns, because they are going to make money off the interest rates, not necessarily off the market right now. Now, I'm not saying the market's a bad place to be in. If you're a long-term holder in the market, then don't even worry whatsoever because it's going to recover. And we know Tesla could recover very fast. I mean, it just took a couple of weeks, not even a week. It took like 10 days for it to go from the 700s all the way up to 1,150. It just shows how this thing could still run despite what's going on. So going into earnings, like I said, I would expect this thing to push up very, very hard. Unless something big is announced, it's going to keep pushing. If not, we are probably going to take a big hit back down. I don't like to say it, but it is the truth because of what's happening in the market with the Fed. And you just have to be prepared for it. You have to remain calm, cool, and collected and not let these things shake you. So what's my price prediction for Monday? I predict Tesla's going to push up to that $1,030 range, maybe even higher depending on how dramatic it is. And I think we're going to drop a little bit later and maybe close around that 1,020 to 1,015 range. So I am pretty bullish going into tomorrow in anticipation of earnings. And I'd like to see how earnings really, really plays out because something big could be announced that pushes this thing up. Otherwise, we are going to take a dump like this if it does not end up coming. So It's not Tesla's fault. Don't worry too much about that. The market's just kind of shaky, but I do believe we're getting closer to that point where the 50 basis point rate hike and the reduction of their balance sheet is getting priced in. As we get closer to that range, the bottom will be found, and we're slowly going to start creeping right back up and start running once again. So be on the lookout for what the Fed announces. Wait for the FOMC meeting, which is going to be on May 3rd through the 4th. And be ready, guys, because earnings is coming out for Tesla, and it's very possible that we do start to run leading up to it, followed by potentially a big bullish move or even a move to the downside, depending on what is announced. Anyways, I made this as clear as I can. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.